wasn't on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Okay.
Yeah. Stand-up monitor that's on the ground. Mic check. You got me. Hello? You got me? All right. Cool.
Awesome.
This is NBC Palm Springs.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gino Lamont.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The head of the CDC says they won't revise their school guidelines. Just yesterday, the White House called the rules very tough and expensive. We learn another 1.3 million people have filed first-time claims for unemployment aid last week. And now governors in nearly half the country push pause on reopening plans. And other states have committed to reversing reopening. More on those stories in just a moment. But first, we have a You Ask, We Investigate report. Mysterious text messages surfaced sent to people who were tested for COVID-19. The texts claim the county wants more insurance information, but the number doesn't come from a local number, and they look suspicious. We spoke with the county, and our Kitty Alvarado joins us live from a testing site in Indio with this You Ask, We Investigate report. Kitty.
That's right. Now, chances are if you visited a county testing site like the one right here in Indio, you will probably receive one of these text messages if you haven't already. The county tells us it's not a scam, and now because we made them aware of this, that people think it is, now you may receive another one, a text or an email apologizing. Robert Goldhammer and his husband received a text from an out-of-state number with a link from the County of Riverside.
Recently, you visited one of our COVID-19 testing sites. We need additional information so that we may bill the proper insurance company. And it has a link that you click on, and it asks for all your personal information.
They did get tested, but something about it seemed odd.
It comes across as a scam.
So they called the local county office. The person on the other end said
They would never ask for personal information via text, and that the number would always be a 951 number, a Riverside number.
So we sent it to NBC Palm Springs to make sure we could alert other people about the scam. We reached out to the county, and to our surprise, it's legitimate. They are sending texts and emails requesting insurance information from people who've recently been tested. To get federal funding for coronavirus, they must attempt to bill insurance providers, but people will not be charged. The county now realizes this could be perceived as a scam.
We will also be sending a follow-up communication, apologizing for the confusion, informing people that this is in fact a legitimate email and a legitimate text message from the County of Riverside, from our Riverside University Health System, and that we do need some of their help if they do have an insurance provider.
Well, you're going to be surprised because I just called the county, sent them all the texts and the emails, and they said it's real.
Really?
Robert did the right thing. Thanks to him, the county acknowledged the confusion, and with millions of people scammed every year, it's better to be cautious.
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
The county now says they already alerted all offices in the county, and the out-of-state numbers are because they hired a service provider that has those numbers. But again, you will not be billed. This is only for insurance providers. And a big shout out to Robert. Because of you, the county is now acknowledging the issue. Reporting live from Indio, Kitty Alvarado, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Kitty. And remember, if you have a problem or a story you'd like us to look into, like a mysterious text message, you can always send it to us at news@NBCPalmSprings.com. You ask, we investigate.
Now back to those unemployment numbers. The Labor Department reports another 1.3 million people filed for first-time unemployment. Jobless claims hit their peak in the last week of March, but for the past 3 months, jobless claims have been on the downward trend. The numbers are heading in the right direction, but they still remain at historic highs.
Here in California, there are 2 million people still waiting for an unemployment check from the state, and that's roughly 40% of everyone who's on file, this according to the Mercury News. Now, millions of Californians saying their calls go unanswered and antiquated technology is delaying their payments. Governor Newsom promises to reform and increase staffing.
With more than 1 million confirmed cases of coronavirus in the U.S., the testing system is overwhelmed. A site in New Orleans ran out of test kits in just minutes. The coronavirus task force says the U.S. is now averaging up to 700,000 tests a day, but many experts say it's still not nearly enough.
We should be doing millions of tests a day, probably about 3 to 4 million tests a day, if we're going to get our hands around this disease.
The challenge is not just getting a test, but getting results. Some people say it's taking over a week to get their results back. Labs across the country are reporting backlogs. Experts say quick results are essential for contact tracing.
Another new one-day record in Riverside County, shattering the previous record by nearly 600 positive cases. 1,377 new cases countywide today, 354 here in the Coachella Valley. 18 new deaths reported in the county, just short of a single-day death record, which is 20, and that happened on Tuesday. Meaning our county could be in the deadliest week since the pandemic began, 6 of those deaths here in the valley. City-by-city breakdown for you. Indio, 1,769 cases. Indio now has 42 deaths associated to COVID-19. Well, the upcoming school year is in limbo. The biggest question, how will classroom learning change in the face of the virus? Our Nico Payne shares what 2 local school districts will be discussing tonight and joins us in studio with more. Nico.
Yes, Desert Sands and Coachella Valley Unified School Districts are meeting this evening to present and study how to reopen schools safely. Some parents and teachers are urging extreme caution, while some politicians want to see kids back in class in just a few months. With start dates in early August, Desert Sands Unified will be presenting their ideas to the school board Thursday night, and Coachella Valley Unified will be holding a special study session to prepare for board meetings later this month. And parents say they want more clarity.
How our working parents are going to be able to be involved in their kids' learning. And I don't think anybody has given a concrete answer for that as to what's going to happen or how we're going to be able to help our children academically when we're working full-time jobs. Got to get home, got to clean, cook, all that kind of stuff.
Parents and teachers are divided on what the best course of action is, whether to go fully online, hybrid, or just bring kids back.
Nobody's going to go back full-time in a situation where you can't protect their health. So you're going to have a lot of teachers either take a leave of absence or ask for reasonable accommodations or just quit.
But some politicians want kids back in school as soon as possible.
If we have found ways for restaurants, casinos, and others to open, we must find ways for our daycare and our schools to open safely. We cannot miss out on a generation of not being taught.
There are also concerns about students and teachers contracting the virus.
They'll have to be in quarantine, and unfortunately, all those in contact with that teacher or employee affected would also have to be in quarantine.
Governor Newsom addressed the issue in his press conference.
We have $5.3 billion in the budget to address learning loss, to address hybrid models of learning, and making sure that we are doing the distance learning, that we're doing justice to distance learning in a way that's equitable for all kids, not just some kids.
And Palm Springs Unified has already approved their plan moving forward. Desert Sands and Coachella Valley Unified still have a few more meetings before a plan is finalized. I'm Nico Payne, NBC Palm Springs.
We're taking a live
Coronavirus coverage brought to you by East Valley COVID-19 testing site, serving residents of eastern Coachella Valley.
All right, now we're taking a live look at our Walter Clark cam on Highway 111 in Rancho Mirage. Jerry Steffen has a look at our forecast. Mike Everett has the night off. Jerry.
Yeah, temps over the southwest have been above average by a few notches, and that was the case for the Coachella Valley, and the hot and dry weather conditions will continue tomorrow. Sun mixed with clouds over the next few days. We've seen nothing but sunshine over the last couple of afternoons. We're going to get some high clouds and mountain clouds over the next 24 hours. But excessive heat begins to move in the valley for the weekend. Temperatures that could get close to 120 degrees very soon. Clear skies basically on our satellite imagery from earlier today. Not a whole lot going on radar. High pressure will be with us, ensuring those numbers will be kind of close to what we had yesterday. 110 to 114 tomorrow. Under some sunshine, some clouds move in late in the day. As far as those dew points tomorrow, they'll be in the 20s and 30s. Relatively dry again tomorrow, but those numbers move up as we move into Saturday and Sunday. Keep in mind, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, excessive heat warnings for the Coachella Valley, High Desert, eastern Riverside County, and they just added a heat advisory west of us all the way to the coastline with temperatures that are going to be close to 10 degrees above average. When in July, you know that means hot. So here's our Comfort Air 3-day forecast. Tomorrow, 112. So again, kind of close to what we saw yesterday. Addition of clouds, but heat moves in too. Those numbers skyrocket. 117 for Saturday for Palm Springs, 118 on Sunday. A closer look at those numbers and your 7-day on the way.
With families struggling during the pandemic, there's been a push for more housing in the valley. The City of Palm Springs is working with Riverside County to make it happen. Our Regina Urita has more on the story.
They've had people dying of this left and right. So, yeah, it's kind of scary.
Donald Roberts, who's sheltering at the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission, says he's relieved to have a bed to sleep on. But 2 weeks ago, he was afraid knowing he and his family could contract COVID-19 while camping on the streets.
And they were nice enough to take us in and everything and feed us and give us clothes, all that. So, I mean, it's a godsend for this place.
Since the shutdown, Coachella Valley Rescue Mission has been struggling to meet CDC guidelines and also says a surge in homelessness has caused an overflow of residents looking for shelter in their facility.
19 hit and this pandemic surged and all the restrictions came from CDC and Governor Newsom. We realized we couldn't respect 6 foot of social distancing and sleep more than 8 people. That means 42 people would have been out on the streets.
That is why the city of Palm Springs, along with Riverside County, have come up with a plan to bring several emergency shelters and transform a Palm Springs hotel into a social distancing safeguard for homeless.
We had been awarded that money, but we actually just now received it. And so we've been looking for opportunities to partner with the county to provide permanent supportive housing.
Majority of the homeless community have not only had to deal with the emotional stress of losing their home in the midst of a pandemic, but are now also trying to survive living in the streets in triple-digit heat.
That need help because the money, the jobs, the businesses closed and not all of them reopened.
Adding urgency to a problem that precedes the pandemic. Regina Urita, NBC Palm Springs.
But with a surge in coronavirus cases, the city of Cathedral City needs to put a reserve ambulance into service. The city says the recent rise in COVID-19 patients at local hospitals has created a backlog in emergency rooms. The backlog in the emergency rooms has created longer than normal admittance time and then keeping ambulance out of service longer than normal.
Hundreds of search and rescue crew members are combing a lake for Naya Rivera. The actress went missing last night, and her 4-year-old son was found alone adrift in a boat. What we know tonight coming up.
Plus, the government is looking for people to be part of a vaccine study for COVID-19. We'll see just who they're looking for. It might surprise you. Stay with us.
When we welcome our viewers here in the West, NBC News has obtained recordings of the officers involved in the death of Breonna Taylor. The new details they shed about that tragic encounter. Also, parents and teachers describe their dilemmas over whether to allow kids to return to classrooms on NBC Nightly News.
Sheriff's deputies say they fear the worst. The search continues for Naya Rivera in Ventura County. Her 4-year-old son was found alone on a rented boat on a lake. Jay Gray has the story.
The mission has shifted to recovery now on Lake Piru. Teams back on the water a day after actress and singer Naya Rivera went missing after renting a pontoon boat with her 4-year-old son.
There's no signs of foul play, no signs of anything that went wrong besides a tragic accident.
Investigators saying another boater saw Rivera's rental drifting and found the little boy alone, asleep on the vessel.
His initial statement was that he was swimming with his mom in the water. He got out of the water, back in the boat. Mom did not.
The 33-year-old is best known for her role as a cheerleader on the Fox musical series Glee. The day before renting the boat, she shared this photo of she and her son on social media with the caption, "Just the two of us." Another post a few days earlier said in part, "Every day you're alive is a blessing. Make the most of today and every day you're given. Tomorrow is not promised." Co-stars and friends sharing their support and memories of the actress online as crews now continue their search to find her. Jay Gray, NBC News.
The death of a 24-year-old California man who was found hanging from a tree last month in Palmdale has been ruled a suicide by LA County Sheriff's Department. The Sheriff's Department says there were no signs of a struggle and no signs he had attempted to remove the rope from his neck. Fuller died 10 days after another black man, Malcolm Harsh, was found hanging in Victorville. Harsh also died by suicide, according to his family.
The Supreme Court delivers split opinions in two cases over whether President Trump can shield his tax records from investigators. It handed a win to the Manhattan District Attorney, but rejected efforts by House Democrats. Both cases were decided 7-2. Both cases are subject to further review by lower courts. The mixed rulings make it unlikely voters will learn about Trump's financial records before the election. We caught up with our legal and our political analysts to get their take on the rulings.
It's a total punt on behalf of the Supreme Court. This is really the Supreme Court saying, we are not going to get involved in a political controversy. We're going to send it back to the courts with some suggestions on how you might look at this case and let them decide.
It does limit the scope of presidential power, and I think that's why this is an especially bitter defeat for President Trump.
For our full interviews with our legal and political analysts on this subject, join us in our 6 o'clock hour-long newscast as we get more in depth on today's top story.
Health officials in Tulsa say President Trump's Oklahoma rally may be a source of a coronavirus surge in the state. The indoor campaign rally drew thousands to Tulsa last month. Now county officials are saying the event, quote, likely contributed to a surge in cases. They've seen more than 500 cases reported just this week. And we'll be right back with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, it was a hot one earlier today, but you know what? Not hot compared to what we're going to see this coming weekend. It's going to be excessively hot. 111 earlier today, the average 107 for Palm Springs. Numbers are going to move up over the next few afternoons. Clear skies on.
Welcome back. Taking a live look now at our Agua Caliente Casino cam in Rancho Mirage. Hot afternoon out there all across the Coachella Valley. And There we go. That's one from Palm Springs. Also hot in Palm Springs, not different than Rancho Mirage, obviously. Lots of blue sky. Jerry Steffen is in for Mike Everett on this Thursday night, and he's got a look at the forecast. Jerry.
Yeah, it was a hot one earlier today, but you know what? Not hot compared to what we're going to see this coming weekend. It's going to be excessively hot. 111 earlier today, the average 107 for Palm Springs. Numbers are going to move up over the next few afternoons. Clear skies on satellite and radar over the southwest. Not a whole lot going on there. We'll see some sunshine tomorrow, but clouds will begin to build late in the day. We'll begin with a breezy afternoon flow from the south, turning onshore late in the day on Friday, and temps will be close to what we saw earlier today. Dew point's a little higher tomorrow. They'll be near 50 degrees by the middle of the afternoon. Triple digits begin at around 11 o'clock tomorrow, much like they did earlier today, and eventually surpassing 110 for many of us in the valley. Specifically for tomorrow, 111 for Indio, Thousand Palms at 112, 113 tomorrow at Palm Desert. Triple digits up north and even through the San Gorgonio Pass Friday afternoon. Saturday, that ridge of high pressure begins to strengthen and widen, and it'll boost those numbers well above average. 116 to 120 are range of highs for the Coachella Valley. A little extra cloud cover moving into the area. Not going to get any help from the breeze, as they'll be very light around the area. Rain, yeah, that stays out of the area well to the south over northwest Mexico. As far as highs on Saturday, yeah, very hot. 117s, 118s, and 119s Saturday afternoon. Again, getting close to 110 in the high desert and easily into the triple digits around the San Gorgonio Pass. And it looks like Sunday will be the hottest day with some 120s, 121s, and 122s possible in the Coachella Valley. Again, that's Sunday. Keep in mind, we have an excessive heat warning for 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It does include the Coachella Valley High Desert, Eastern Riverside County, and a heat advisory with triple digits in the Inland Empire all the way to the coastline. That's possible. Records will fall over the southwest. It'll be close at Palm Springs and Thermal, especially Thermal, with 118 forecast for Saturday, 119 the record, and 120 is the forecast high for Sunday in Thermal. That is the record, which is set in 1985, so it'll be close. Clouds begin to build into the area after several days of clear skies. We'll see partly cloudy skies Saturday and Sunday. That clears out on Monday. And as far as surface moisture, we saw single-digit dew points earlier today. That moves up a little bit. Matter of fact, dew points around 50 degrees Saturday and again on Sunday. Comfort Air 7-day forecast, 112 tomorrow. Extreme heat moves in Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Yes, in the 110s, definitely, and getting close to 120 on Sunday in the valley. Temperatures begin to back off Tuesday and a little closer to where we should be this time of year, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week.
According to a new survey, almost 1/3 of U.S. households have not made their full housing payments for July yet. About 19% of Americans made no housing payment at all during the first week of the month. Experts say this is the 4th month in a row with a historically high number of households unable to pay their mortgage or rent on time.
Bed Bath & Beyond says it'll close 200 stores despite a jump in online sales. The company reported overall revenues down 50%. No word yet on where those stores will close, but we do have one, at least in Palm Desert.
A new website just went live allowing people to register to take part in clinical trials for a COVID-19 vaccine. The study is looking for people over 65 in coronavirus hotspots. They don't want people who are staying home and quarantining, but essential workers, so they can make sure it's the vaccine that's preventing coronavirus and not just lifestyle. Tens of thousands of volunteers are needed. Are you qualified? Head on over to that website. We'll be right back.
All right, we got something here we want to show you. This is brand new. This is a QR code. And what you do is you can point your camera phone at it and a bar will come up and you click on it and it will take you to this newscast on our website. And you can rewatch all, or if you missed part of it or there's a story you want to see again, you can get it all by simply clicking on the QR code there. This will start coming up at the end of every one of our broadcasts. It'll take you straight to the website, straight to the show, and you can watch all or part or something you want to see again. Just a new little service we can do for you, courtesy of the internet. It's going to do it for us. We'll see you back here tonight at 6 o'clock.